Hey, how's it going? I'm Rory from Wreck My Funeral. That was right, by the way. So welcome along to this short Cinema 4D tutorial, but possibly slightly confusing one. Now, this shape here I saw on Reddit recently, and it's a table. The idea is you put a piece of glass on the top, and it's lovely for holding crockery and pencils. But it's kind of this optical illusion thing where it looks like it's kind of floating, but if you follow the lines back, you can see it does make a solid structure. It's all one piece of metal, essentially. And I just thought it was really interesting. I thought it was really cool, and I wondered, how would I recreate this in Cinema 4D? I went ahead and did exactly that, and that's what you can see there. And then I thought, I'll share it with you, because I'm lovely like that. First things first, we're going to go ahead and jump into Cinema 4D. If I go too fast, feel free to use the YouTube controls to slow it down. And it's really actually very funny because it makes me sound like I'm completely wasted. It's actually hilarious. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, enough of that. At the same time, if I'm not going fast enough, do it the other way, make it go faster. But yeah, that's going to be a bit crazy. Right. Anyway, let's get on with it. So I'm going to do this using splines. Obviously, there is a million ways to achieve this. I'm just going to go ahead and use splines because that's how I did it. And I don't know, the width and the height, I cannot remember what I did in my example. So I'm going to go with something like that. Yep, 1200 by 600, that will do. And I am going to put my spline rectangle inside of a symmetry. So with the objects highlighted, hold down Alt, release on symmetry, and that'll put it inside. And I'm going to move it this way. Now, I don't know how much yet. I'm not sure. So I'm going to, for the moment, I'm going to put it to 450. Now, obviously, my symmetry object hasn't worked. And the reason is because we're in the wrong plane. So we just changed that to XY. And there we go. Right, so we're somewhere closer. It's probably going to be a 500 position. I'm going to put that to, actually. But we'll see. We might have to change it. And let's go ahead and create another rectangle. And we'll make the height 600. And this one, we're going to change the plane so that it's on ZY. Or Z if you're in America. And let's change the width. What do I need it to be? I don't know. Let me see. I think I need it to be about 1,000, right? It is something like that. But let's make it. What did I do this one? 1,200, 1,000. Yeah, let's stick with that for the moment. I've got to try and remember how to do this. It's actually really simply confusing. So again, another symmetry object. We're just going to drag that guy here to its point, which will be 600, like that. Brilliant. And now I need to make one more rectangle, and we're going to put this on the XZ plane. And again, we're going to need to do something similar to, oh no, it was 1,000, wasn't it? To the bottom ones. And we'll go ahead and do the same symmetry. Don't know what happened there. Right, we'll move that up so that it's in the position. Change our symmetry to XZ. Okay, grand, wonderful, super. Next, I am going to move each of them 50 more. So that one's 300, so I'm going to move that to 350. That one is 600, so I'm going to move it to 650. And this one is 500, so I'll move it 550. Right, and as you can see, we are close. We've kind of got our initial shape. One of the things though is obviously we need to somehow find a way to link all of this stuff together. And it's not too bad, but basically I'm going to come into here and I'm going to select each of my rectangles and press C to make them editable. And now I'm going to go through them one by one and do a quick little bit of cutting. So let's press KK, and that gives us our knife so that we can cut. We'll go into points mode, and then I'm going to go enable snap and set this to grid or work plane. And now because we've used nice round numbers, we can actually use the squares inside of our grid to go around and make this shape, which basically cuts 4 squares worth of distance, or 2, I suppose, out of each corner. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. Look at the shape on the screen. That's what it is. So now we'll do the next one, which will be in a different view. So we'll come into this view here, and we'll do exactly the same thing again. So boom, boom, boom. Oops, there, 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 there. Okay, wunderbar. Right, next is going to be this one, which is on the top view. And we'll do exactly the same once more. There we go. And escape when we're done. Right, so let's turn all this back on. So now we've got this kind of setup where we've got a bunch of extra dots. And these are points that we can utilize to move and connect our splines together. So with all of these selected, I'm going to right click and do connect objects and delete, and that's going to create one symmetry object. Awesome. Right. Now what we need to do, I say one symmetry, it's going to create one object, sorry, which is made up of 6 different splines. But what we're going to do is connect them together in that very specific way so that it makes that shape. Now, there's an important thing to note here is that right now this is treating this as 4 individual splines. And if we turn off close spline, it breaks the ends, which is exactly what we want. And the thing to note is that the starting point will always go from white round to blue. So this is going to be quite useful for us working out where we're going because of the direction the spline is heading. But what I want to do is I'm going to start on this top guy here and I'm going to send him around. Now let's see, we're going to have to move some bits around and do some cleverness here. So this is kind of going over here and then I want to get to the end here and come downwards. So how am I going to do that? This top one I need to move across. Oh dear, what's going on? I'm having some trouble with my keyboards here. So this top one, I need to actually move across to put in line because in order to make this seemingly impossible shape, we need to just shift this one over. I'm holding down shift and that will move it in increments. So I can move it the 50. Okay. And then I'm going to say that the start point is actually this one, I think. Point order, set first point. There we go. Yep. Great. And now I want to start heading downwards here. So I'm going to select this one here, right click and do break segment. And this one here, going to click on this one and do break segment. Cool. Now we have a look, we should see there's a dot there. So we can click on both of those and do join segment. And we'll do the same down here. Oh no, got to be careful. I want that one. Join segment. Okay. Okay, so this is where it does. It's seemingly straightforward, but it does get a little bit complex. So we're now heading that way, that way, that way, and now we head down. And this is good. So we carry on, we work our way this way, and then here, sure enough, we do come back up. But what we need to do is come over with these ones. So we'll select that one, and that one. And slide over this way. Okay, the 50. And then the idea here is that we are going to connect. We need to connect to this guy here, right? Yes. So I'm just going to drag this up 100. Ah, my snap's still on. Got to turn that off. Drag this up 100. There we go. And grab that one and right click and join segments. Okay, so now we'll come around this way and we can almost see our shape is starting to take shape. Yep, so it goes down that way, goes down that way. Don't worry about, so there's some extra lines here that we will remove at the end, but just they're there at the moment for reference. Okay, so we're heading that way, down, back to the front, then up and across, and then we go down. Now this bottom one is one that is sitting on the floor. So we need to actually bring this, and this down 50. Okay, like that. Great. So then we go across and then here, we don't want to come back up this time. So we're going to click on this one here and do break. And then we're going to connect that one to that one. So right click, join segment. All right, so now we work our way to the back. We come across. And then here, we need to make sure that this bottom one, these ones and these ones, we need to move that over the 50. Okay. That then comes over here. Now this needs to come into this one. So I'm going to right click on this one and do break. Oh, No, I didn't want to do that. Is it this one and do break? Yep, there we go. And this one and do break. There we go. And then we can join those segments. All right, cool. Now we come up to here. We want to join these two. We head to the back. Okay. And this one is going to come down, but connected to the end one. Okay, so we need to grab that one and its friends, and we need to slide that back 50. Okay, and then I'm going to break there, and I'm going to break, is it there? I'm not sure. No, maybe it's there. No, maybe it's there. Yeah, and then we'll join those two together. Join. So now that comes up the back there, and it now just needs to be connected into this one at the back. So we come up. We need to come up. Is it 150 to there? And then this one we slide back 50. And then we select that one and we right click and join. But obviously it won't join because this is the final one. So we do close spline and that should do that. But we've still got some extra weirdness going on in here. So we now need to just clean up the weirdness. So we're going to select and delete those ones. We're going to select and delete, oops, try that again. These ones here. I think that might be it. Now we do close spline. There we go. Okay. And while that seemed insanely, did you follow that? Let me know in the comments. How did you find that? Because it's one of those things that it's not that complex, but explaining it's horrific, honestly. So a final bit of cleanup here. I'm now just going to go through and delete these points that aren't on the corners themselves. All right. So we can just select them like that. Just don't select any corner points, but all these like little reference ones are absolutely destined for the bin, like so. I mean, to be fair, you don't even need to get rid of them. It's just tidier. There we go. Right. So that is that done. That is the shape. Okay, so now that we have our spline done, you'd think, right, super easy. Okay, so I select a sweep NURBS and I stick a rectangle in there. Obviously, we shrink that down. Brilliant, but no, look, it's all twisty. It's all twisty. And this is because of the really, really bizarre way that Cinema works with sweeps and splines. And the problem is that the spline, because they were all on different orientations when I made them, it's come through a bit crazy. And I've not really found a very good way to deal with that because it seems to select the orientation at random. And so bit odd, but fine. Okay, we won't use that, so we'll just get rid of the sweep and so on. And we'll just model it ourselves. Now that we have a guide, we can model this quite easily. Just purely using a plane that is something like, what, 40 by 40. Only one segment is absolutely fine, and we'll make that editable by pressing C. And I want to get it over, somewhere that's going to be a good starting location. So we might as well start over here at the back. So let's figure out. So we worked in nice round numbers, so it shouldn't be too bad. Let's go put it roughly where we want it, and we'll work out what the numbers are supposed to be. So that's going to be what, -650 puts us on that point. That one will be 300 and that will be 550. So there we go. We are dead on there. But I need to come down like a little bit further. So I need to come down, I think, what, 15? Because what am I saying? That I'm saying this is, no, I need to come down 20, right? Because this is a 40 by 40. I think that's what I said. Right, anyway, so that's what we'll go with. So now I'm going to go into polygon mode, select, or press D to select extrude, and just come up a little bit, doesn't matter how much, and I'm going to just pop in there offset 40. And then what that's done is it's made a perfect cube right in this corner. Okay, nice and easy, very straightforward. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to come up roughly to where I want to be, and I can see that that's 552, and I think I need to, so if I put in there 550, that's, I think, a bit too low, so I need to add another 20 to that, so it'll be 570. No, that isn't right. Maybe it is 550. Let's try it. I don't think it is though. Maybe let's try 560, and then we'll do this again, and I want that to move up 40, and that's the square. Okay, so interesting numbers. And then we'll press this one. See, I'm just using my spline that we made before as a guide now. We could have done this outright, but trust me, it would have got super confusing. So again, we'll put it roughly where we want it. So 1200, good. And then we'll do it again, and we'll do 1240. There we go. I've messed that up. You may have spotted it. I don't know. It wasn't 1200. I'm getting confused. Give me my camera angle back, you. What is going on here? Let's see. We'll pull this roughly over here again somewhere. So what did we say? So it should be 1210. Is it 1210? And then we'll pull it out 40. And we'll just double check that our line is dead in the center, which it is. Cool. So we can go down. Now, while this is a bit of a faff, doing it like this, has a real benefit in the fact that this is now technically decent geometry that we're building here. So, you know, I'm not even mad. Oh, look at that. I got that just right. So 600, and we'll do this 140. And I think I'll speed this bit up for you, so save you having to watch all of it. Maybe I'll do one more. We'll do one more long one and see where we get to. So basically, it seems to be whatever you would think it is, minus 10. No, plus 10. Yeah. Interesting. I love it. Right. Okay. And you join me once again. We're on the last little section now, so there's something I want to do here. I don't want to just extrude it all the way out to the end there. I actually want to come down here. I'm going to do bridge, and I'm going to bridge, going to that mode and grab those and move along there. So it fills in the bottom, but I'm also now just going to come back here, going to select that one and delete it, and select that one and delete it. And now go back to this mode and once again do bridge and go across to there, go across. Oh, that wasn't good. I couldn't see where I was going to. It's getting a bit awkward. I still can't see. Oh, it's all going wrong. Hang on. Right. Let's try and get this camera into a position where we can actually see what it is we're doing. Right, bridge. Bridge. Bridge, and then we'll fill in the one at the bottom here. There we go. Right, and oh god. Right, now that I've sorted my camera out. So now we have built the shape, and it's actually done with decent geometry. You know, this is a nice low poly object, so we could now even unwrap it, do the old UV thing and texture it up and make it all nice, or we could go nice and simple. I'm just going to select my edge selection tool here. I'm going to hit UL. Something's wrong here, the UL, there we go. I'm going to grab a few that I think are going to make sense. So something like that, 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 that. Yeah, no, I've got to be careful. There's one down here that's wrong. Right, so grab that one. There we go. Like that. Do you know what? I'm going to select all. It's going to be a lot easier, and I'm going to come in and just deselect the corners like this. This will just take me a moment. There might even be a nice way to do this. I'm just not sure what it is, but I just don't want any of those corners in my selection here, because we'll bevel it and make it all sort of nice. Oh, grab you again. No, want you again. Oh man. Okay. I don't know what's happening. In the last few versions of Cinema, I've had real trouble with my camera, and no matter what settings I set it to, whether I want it to pivot around objects or around the camera, the viewport or whatever, I still just seem to always have trouble with it. Anyway, so we're just going to deselect as many of these ones as we can because they're naughty. Basically, I'm about to bevel this, and I don't want these inner edges selected because they will make it act kind of a bit weird if you go beveling in the middle of the column, if you see what I mean. I'm sure there shouldn't be that many of these, you know. God, these things are annoying. Right. I don't know which way was better, to select all and then remove them, or to just try to only select what I want. Yeah, I'm not completely convinced. Right, we've got some on the inside down here. Look, get rid of you. Getting on these. Right, I think that might be about it. No, there's some more up here. Oh man. Look, there we go. We're having the camera troubles again. There, it's back again. It must be just me. There must be something I'm doing wrong. There's more here. Oh man, there's so many of these. Brilliant. Okay, great. So that is it. And I'm going to, just in case, select and do set selection. So we've just got that now. That's saved as that tag. So if we need to do it, we can just restore selection and it will select those ones for us again. Right, but anyway, now that we've done that, we can right click and do bevel. And we just want to give it just a little tiny bit, just a tiny amount, and a few subdivisions, just so that when we hit render, oh, we've got no lights. When we hit render, it just picks up a few edges on there. It doesn't look perfectly sharp. Do you know what? I actually want to do that a little bit less. I'm going to do it 2. There we go. Right. Fantastic. And there we go. That's basically it. We're done. We're done. I mean, now I'm just going to mess around and try and make it look a bit prettier, perhaps. Let's see. What can we do? Let's use Redshift. Okay, so my standard Redshift settings that I tend to use, I come in here and I set this to 128. And then I go on here and I just ramp these ones up. 128, yeah, whatever. These are crazy. These are random numbers. Don't worry about them specifically. And I always put on brute force as the primary GI engine. And that's kind of my default settings. And I always work outwards from there. So I now need a floor. So we'll make a plane and just make that bigger. And then we'll take our frame and we'll place this on our floor like so. And then let's just move that over there. Great. And then I will come in and select, let's make a cube, which is going to be our glass tabletop. So we'll just have it come out a little bit more like that. And it's a little bit thin and it's kind of hard to see. We'll place it just on top like that. Maybe even pull this in a bit so it looks a bit cool. Just fillet the edge a little, something like that. Right, so we've built our table. Now we just need to, let's go Redshift render view. And let's just pop this over here and hit go. We shouldn't see, well, we do, we see that, which is obviously rubbish. But let's come in here. By the way, just in case you were wondering, this first number here is how many passes this does. If it's set to that crazy 1000 amount, you have to sit waiting forever. Whereas you set it to 129, it quickly whizzes through, and you can kind of see what you're doing a little bit quicker. But anyway, whatever. This isn't a Redshift tutorial. This is just me now messing around, as I tend to. So I'm going to add a dome light, and therefore it starts looking a little bit better there. And in my dome light, I want to assign an HDRI image or something. Let's see, we can move this one up, and we can move this one up like this. So I need an HDRI image, just anything just to make it kind of light up a bit, something like that, and then just turn that exposure up. There we go, make it a bit brighter. And we'll add another Redshift light, an infinite light, just because I like the way that that looks. And we will rotate it a bit so that we get a bit of shimmer under the table, something like that. And I'm just going to switch that off for now so we can see what we're doing. Let's create quick thing first, save. Always save when you, for some reason, whenever I use Redshift, I get random crashes. It just randomly just bails out on me. So just in case, I've done a save. We've now got everything. So now I'm going to go create Redshift material. I'm going to go super simple with this. I'm just going to change this one to platinum. Maybe we'll tweak it. I'm going to put that on our plane like so. It's looking pretty good. It's getting a bit closer. Let's just turn off the table and have a look. Yeah, see, it just looks kind of cool. All right, and I'm going to create another Redshift material. And this one, nice and simple. This is going to just be our floor. And I don't really want any reflection. So just a nice clean white floor. There we go. We're picking up some blue off my HDRI image, which is absolutely fine for just what we're doing. We're just playing around. And then finally, I need to create another Redshift material. And where's it gone? There it is. And we're going to just select preset, glass. Again, we might need to tweak a little bit, but we'll have a look. We'll dump that on there. Yeah, see, we get this kind of weird thing going on. So we need to just fix up something in here. So let's go over to reflection. So we're going to change this because our refraction is linked to the reflection. So it's this one here. So I think I'm going to change that to 1.1. There we go. And that just fixes that up for me. Right. And if we move around there, we can see that our table looks pretty cool. That's it, really, to be honest with you. Let's hit render and see what it looks like. Right, now obviously that was an insanely fast setup just to get that running. I could do a million things to tweak it and make it render much quicker and make it look much better and so on. I just wanted to see how my shape came out, and to be fair, that's come out really well. That's all right for how quickly that was. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, of course, remember to hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe, and pressing that little bell will notify you when I put up a new video. It's an interesting thing. If you look in my stats, it's something like 96% of my viewers aren't subscribed. 96%. That's crazy. Anyway, sorry, enough of all of this. I hope you enjoyed it. Fairly not too taxing, not too complex. A couple of little techniques in there hopefully will be useful to you. And if you did, no, I already said this. So finally, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.